Now this, Russia's President Putin has reportedly issued his formal demands to end the war with Ukraine. They include no NATO membership for Ukraine, no Western troops on its soil, and the big one, Ukraine to surrender the entire Donbass region. Senate Armed Services Committee member Senator Eric Schmitt joins me now. Senator, great to see you again. You know, I think that the most crazy one of all is that Putin, the aggressor in this whole scenario, wants to be one of the peacekeeping forces, bringing its troops into Ukraine to prevent an invasion from Russia. I mean, how crazy is that?
Yeah, I think this is sort of posturing, right? This is an opening salvo, hopefully a real negotiation for peace between Zelensky and Putin. And President Trump has opened that door by the events of last week, in Alaska, and then earlier this week at the White House when the European leaders were in the Oval Office. And President Trump's the only person in the world that could open this door. And we're going to see where it goes. Diplomacy isn't easy, but I'm glad we have a president that's willing to try. I think he's the peace president. That's his instinct. That's his North Star. And so hopefully these folks can get in the room and hammer out a peace deal and end the killing.
Well, Ukraine's president, Zelensky, is responding to that massive Russian onslaught just the night before last. He says it shows that Putin isn't, quote, really going to engage in any sort of peace effort. Do you think he's right on that? Because it certainly, I mean, he has his own problems about negotiating, but is he right that it's going to take the real tough fist of President Trump to put in the economic sanctions before they move?
Well, I think that we'll find out. And I think that the fact that Putin traveled to Alaska, and there's obviously significance to that place, considering it's ours, it was once theirs, and B-2s from Missouri flew overhead, and President Trump, I think, showed Vladimir Putin his gun safe along the way. That sent a message, and it was strength and confidence. But again, I think what President Trump's real interest here is, and I've talked to him about it, he wants to open the door here for peace. There's over 1 million people have died.
Yeah.
This thing is a meat grinder. That dynamic's probably not going to change anytime soon. So hopefully the conditions are ripe here in the next few months for a peace deal.
And I must say that the media who totally got it wrong, they didn't see the European summit coming up when they were criticizing Trump on Friday of last week and Saturday. It was only a week ago that they said the whole Alaska thing showed that there was no chance of any peace. Then we had this incredible summit on Monday in Washington with so many of the Europeans and Zelensky himself. Now they're again saying that it's all done. There's no future to it. You don't underestimate Donald Trump if you want to be successful, correct?
Correct, and he's a singular political figure. I mean, we've never seen anything like this. The energy he has, the determination he has, and I think that he's willing to cut through a lot of the nonsense that typically clouds some of these diplomatic discussions with certain protocols. I think he wants to cut through that, and we'll see where it goes. I mean, there's no guarantee that this is going to happen, but the only way it's going to happen is with President Trump opening the door.
Finally, we had this case of a U.S. Navy sailor who has now been convicted of selling secrets to China. Are we doing enough to really investigate how China is spying on Americans in America itself?
Well, it's a problem. I mean, the Chinese are hacking and they into our systems. I think there's a lot of vulnerabilities that still exist. We've been working on that to try to get the Pentagon in particular to shore up on that. But this sailor, incident is another reminder that China is going to continue to look for ways to sort of get the secrets of our technology. There's no doubt about that.
The biggest spying apparatus in the world right now. It used to be Russia, now it is China. Senator, thank you very much. By the way, the Dow is up 363 points right now.